Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to a nice 60-degree sunny day here in Georgia. Very nice outside. Um, what I do today is show you how the three-point hitch goes on to this 1025R John Deere tractor. Now, there's going to be hundreds and thousands of you viewers that already know how to do this. This is nothing new, so feel free, to just, not watch it at all because you already know how to do this. But for me, this is my first and only tractor. I never put a three-point hitch on in my life, never saw it done, didn't know anything about it. The Deere manual is no help at all. The closest thing you can get to help is you can find an exploded illustrated parts breakdown of the hitch itself, and that might help you relate to how one part goes with another part, but it doesn't show you anything how to install it on the tractor. And I had a hard time surfing YouTube to find anything where I could visually see how to do it. I didn't find any written instructions anywhere either. The video that I saw was in several parts, and it was basically just somebody standing there with a phone camera watching the guy who dropped off the tractor quickly show the owner how to do it. I thought I would just focus on that, and if there are any newbies out there, maybe it'll help you. Otherwise, you already know how to do this, but I didn't. One of the things that I found out, I don't know about how other manufacturers do, or if this is standard operating procedures or what, but one thing I found out when listening to the other video, the guy said, the owner asked him which way did it matter how you put the arms on here, and he said it didn't matter, and it probably doesn't. But one thing I found out, even though those two arms look symmetrical, and they are, the difference being where the hole is drilled in the middle. Now, if you take this and move it, it's physically the same as far as the shape. But what's the first thing you notice? The hole is not in the same place. So, as it turns out, if you measure from that hole to the end, on one side it's around 13.5 inches, and if you measure that hole to the other side, it's around 14 something. So they're not in the same place, so you have a short and a long end. Now, I've read a couple of messages on tractor forums where they say, pick one or the other. They say most people probably use the short end. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I'm going to go with. And so what I did was I took some blue tape and marked the short end and put an R for right and left, so in the future I'll remember which side is what, and won't have to remeasure. Now, one thing people were saying was if you use the short end, you might get a different lower and upper height as opposed to if you use the long end. And what I thought I'd do is put it on and then actually measure and implement with both ways, to see if, what, if any difference there really is. So hopefully you'll be able to see while I'm holding the camera here. I'm going to put the camera down, might be able to still see okay. See if that works. Okay, so I guess one of the first things to show you is this hook here. I don't really think it matters which direction the hook is installed, and I'm not going to take it off right now because it's got a cotter pin on it and I don't want to keep bending it and unbending it every time I put it on. So you can see how it goes on. It goes through that piece here. It's got a little washer. That was the only place that I could find where that washer could possibly go, where it made any sense. So that's where I put it. And you got the cotter pin, and it's got this spring clip here, and I assume that's for storage because it fits right in there. If you push it, it's pretty tight. So you can store it so it's not flopping around while you're running the tractor. Now I tried it the other direction, and it does sort of line up with that piece here, and maybe that's how you're supposed to do it, but to me it was easier for it to fit in the clip this direction than it was the other way. I tried it both ways and I found it easier to do it this way. Okay, so let's put this upper arm on here. Now you got two ends. One is adjustable, and the other one, this side's got the lock nut and the screws in and out. So this side points toward you. Got this piece. And you can move this up, and then that's to rest there. And you can clip it all the way in place, but it works just as good if you just let it rest like that. And now you put one of these pins, clinch pin in here. Okay. All right, now put the right side on, and it goes on the inside here, so you'll have to lift up your shield to get that to go in. Believe it or not, I put it on the outside first and looked at it for a while, and something ain't right about that. I got it on there. I'm amazed I did. Alright, put one of these pins in here. Put the shield back down. Okay, now you got two of these arms. You can't see. Got One's fixed and one's adjustable. To begin with, I put the adjustable one on this side, and it fit onto this arm. This one would not go, so obviously I had it backwards. So the adjustable arm goes on the right. These pins are always hard to get out. This still doesn't look right. I think I got it upside down. Even I don't remember how to do it. All right, now we got it. Okay, that goes like this. Okay, so we got these turnbuckles here, and got to put. If you notice, there's a round clip here. Here's the other side. It's already in. See if you can see, that clip goes through that right there and keeps it from turning. So in order to adjust it, you'll have to undo that clip like this one, so that way you can adjust it once you get it on there. So okay, so there you have a turnbuckle. You got a nut with a captive and a self-locking nut. Screw that on the end here. And the turnbuckle goes over this right here. Now, which way is absolutely correct? It's got a slight bend. I don't know if it makes any difference. The video that I saw, they had it this way, so that's how I'm going to do it. Okay. And you can turn this so it's got plenty of slop in it. You take one of these linch pins here. Okay. Now you do the other side the same way. Pins ringing. Okay, make sure you get it angled right. You got that upside down, it's not gonna work. So there you have it. I mean, it's not complicated. But if you've never seen it or never done it before, you know, you can sit there for a while and scratch your head like I did. I'm going to go ahead and tighten these up. Found that I got to use a pair of pliers to keep the turnbuckles from turning, otherwise I couldn't tighten it up. Alright, now let's hang an implement on it. What I'm going to put on here is a trailer hitch attachment. You can see that. I don't have a cameraman. Make sure you got enough slack in your turnbuckle so you can spread the arm out enough to get it on the pin. Alright, now that we've got that on it, bring the top link down, line it up. Put your pins in the side here. Okay, and you can use this top link here, loosen this nut here, and turn this until you get it at the angle that you want it. It's almost straight up and down, not quite, but for demonstration purposes. Okay, now it's on the using the short side of the arms. It's all the way down as far as it goes. So let's see with this configuration. Let's see how high it is off the ground right here. Okay, so it looks to be, just right around 2 inches or so, right here. All right, now I'll start the tractor and measure how high it goes. Okay, I measured it and it's about 20 inches high. Around 20 inches. So it went from about 2 inches off the ground to 20 inches high. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is take everything back apart, put the long ends on, and make that same measurement and see what the difference is. Now I'll go ahead and cut the camera off and redo it so you don't have to watch all that again. Okay, so I've turned the two main arms around, so they're both on the long side, and my conclusion is that's not really how it was designed to operate. The reason is you almost don't have any more travel on your turnbuckles. It's almost all the way out. In fact, I couldn't even get the pin all the way in there. So obviously that really isn't how it was designed. It did lift this up. You've got around 5 inches, a little hair under 5 inches of clearance now on the bottom. But in my opinion, it wasn't designed that way unless you get some longer turnbuckles, because there's no travel left on it. So, and probably most of you tractor guys already know this. No news to you. Hopefully it helps somebody. I'm going to put it back how it was and then give you one last look at it. I just want to point out one more thing. If you don't measure and mark, and one day you're putting them on and you've discovered that one side seems okay and the other side something ain't right, that's because you've got them turned around. You've got one on the short side and you've got one on the long side, so that's the problem. So it would pay to mark them for future reference. Okay, so what I thought I'd do now is just give you one last close-up view for those that want to get a close-up of everything attached. Okay, I appreciate you watching. hopefully this helped it somebody. Thank you.